Welcome back, y'all. The Coalition dropped their weekly What's Up update, and this usually brings some good, but it can also bring some bad. So let's just take a look at what this week has to offer as far as Gears 5 goes. The first thing I want to talk about, I'm just going to gloss over it because it wasn't part of their What's Up update, but it was implemented sometime last week, pretty late last week, and I think it deserves its own video. However, they implemented some changes to ranked, which changed players' standing on the leaderboard. Some people lost a lot of ranked points, and some people gained some ranked points. And as a whole, the ranked community is pretty upset because, as I said, they lost their placements. So that's kind of messed up. And the coalition put out a statement explaining why this happened. I'll put a link to that in the description below. I'll probably talk about it more in depth in a later video because I just want to focus on what's up on this video. But if you're interested, check that out in the description below. Now, onto the actual what's up update. A pretty big update in my opinion. Something that a lot of people have been complaining about and it got finally addressed is the flashbang grenade. It finally got nerfed. Previously, players spawned with the flashbang grenade and the effects lasted an entire second. Now this thing was pretty strong because it completely obscured your screen. You literally cannot do anything while you're flashed, and in most cases, it even kicked you out of cover if you were, behind a wall or behind some cover. It usually kicked you out of that. Your character brought his hand up to his eyes. You couldn't shoot. You couldn't do anything. So it was pretty broken, and people were spamming this everywhere. So what are the changes they implemented to the flashbang grenade? Now, players don't spawn with flashbang, and the effects only last zero point 0.3 seconds. So 0.3 seconds from 1 second is a pretty big change. Hopefully this actually balances out a little bit. I'm hoping that 0.3 seconds actually isn't too little of a time because the flashbang is supposed to act, they mentioned that it's supposed to act the same way that smokes acted in Gears 2 through 4, in the case that you're supposed to get people a lot of strong defensive positions, but as a result, it was a little too powerful. So I'm hoping it still does its job of disorienting players and making them move, but not to the extent that it previously was. So we'll have to see. These updates are live now, so we'll see how it goes for the weekend, if any changes are needed. And not just in versus multiplayer, but if you play Horde and you get to like waves 17 through 20 or like 7 through 10, 17 through 20, so on, the later waves of around 10, like Horde mode, the elite drones spam those things like crazy, and they have crazy accuracy. They can hit you with the flashbang grenade from across the map. I honestly don't know how they do it, but it was a little bit broken in Horde as well, and it doesn't really give much of an effect to the player. Like if the player has flashbangs in Horde, they're not as powerful as having like a shot grenade or a frag grenade. So having elite drones just spam these at you was too much. So I'm glad that, at least as far as Horde goes, I'm glad that the effects got taken down to only 0.3 seconds. Alright, new week means new supply content drop. Last week they introduced character skins to supply drops, which was pretty nice. New way for players to earn skins. Last week we got Classic Dell, and this week they are giving us Classic JAD. I've mentioned before, I'm not a big fan of these classic skins because it's kind of weird calling them classic, seeing as Gears 4 came out 3 years ago. It doesn't really give off classic vibes, and in turn, I'm not a big fan of the classic or the Gears 4 character designs, at least not when it came to the main characters, because they're wearing civilian clothes with a KOTH chest piece on. The only one that I did like was Marcus, and that's because he was covered in full Gears armor. I'm still going to get it. Chances are this is going to cost 100 scrap, which is relatively cheap, seeing as Dell costed 100 scrap. You can either buy it for 100 scrap, or you can try to get lucky and get it from a supply drop, which, as I've stated before, aren't really difficult to get, seeing as you get 1 or 2 every couple of matches, and you even get a free supply drop at the beginning of the day. Other than that, the supply drop is as disappointing as always. A few weapon skins, more blood sprays, and a few executions for your weapons, which most people don't even try to go for. But now on to the events that are taking place this week in Gears. The first one of the bigger ones, is Gnashers only King of the Hill. I am excited for this one. Having everybody use one weapon is always fun, and Gnasher has always been pretty broken in Gears games, so having everybody having only Gnashers playing King of the Hill, that's gonna be pretty fun. Seeing as you can't have the Lancer spammers anymore. You can't have those people that just take up a high position and spam Lancer at the ring. They actually have to get up into the ring. That's gonna be pretty fun. Those are probably some of my favorite special events. Now next is they're bringing back double stars. They mentioned in the What's Up update that they are still working on getting people their double stars for anybody that missed them last week with the whole dilemma of it not tracking stars correctly. So hopefully this week it manages to actually work and people get their stars on time. And the last event that's happening this weekend is Escape is having double XP as far as characters goes. So if you play Escape, your characters is a really good way to get your characters to max level or get some of the characters you don't play to a high level. And other than that, that's pretty much all the events that are going on this week. They do also mention that they're still working on getting the campaign collectibles and progression fixed, because that's been an issue since the very beginning of the game's release, is that people did not get progress in their campaign. But they're still working on that. It's been about a month, so who knows how long they'll keep working on this one. But that's everything that they introduced in the What's Up this week. If you want to take a look at it, I'll have everything in the description below. But that's all I have for y'all, so hope y'all have a good one, and I'll catch y'all next time.